What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm not going to have a long intro for once. We're just going to get right into today's video. Please like my videos and please subscribe to my channel. Hate saying that, but you know, you got to promote yourself. So continuing on from where we was up to last time, I had gone out with a friend for my birthday meal. My best friend Dishy, so shout out to Dishy if you're watching. Mwah. Um, and she had arranged for everyone to come out and sing happy birthday to me. They brought a cake out and I was talking to him and he was telling me he was really sorry that he'd hurt me and he was scared and he just needed to take time. And I was saying, you know what, I'm sorry for lying to you and being dishonest. I could have been honest and told you earlier. It's my fault as well. So there was me holding accountability, but he wasn't. He was apologising for abandoning me, but he wasn't apologising and taking accountability for what he did wrong too, if that makes sense. So like everybody comes out and they're singing happy birthday and I'm sat there in tears, crying my eyes out and I'm like, oh my god, this just isn't happening, this can't be happening. And my friend Dishy takes my phone off me and she's like, I don't want you in tears, this is your birthday, this is your moment, you know, I did this for you. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to sit there and be in tears on my birthday. I had a gorgeous outfit on. I spent a fortune on this outfit. I did my makeup. I did my hair really nice. I looked so nice. I was just like, oh, and it was my day, you know, just for me. I thought, you know what, I'm not going to let him make me feel low just because of how he's treated me. And she really cheered me up. She took me on a drive that night and we talked. And, you know, that's the one thing I miss about Dishy is her openness and her honesty. It was so refreshing and I respect her so much. Love her and miss her a lot too. So if she's watching this, which hopefully she does, you know, miss you a lot, Dishy. So anyway, a few months go by, we don't talk, I'm blocked again, and we start talking again. And we didn't arrange to meet this time, it was just talking it and I got back to being blocked. And then something really peculiar happened. I was in town one day and I was walking this way, he was walking this way, so we were bound to cross paths, whether we wanted to or not. And he's walking down, and I'm walking up with some college friends. And I'm thinking, God, this person looks familiar. I didn't get a full look at their face. I could just see somebody walking down. I didn't really process the full picture of their face, is what I'm trying to say. I didn't have enough time to. And it clicked in my head, and it clicked in his head, and he seen me, and his eyes were like he was genuinely shocked. It was like we both realised who we both were, and I shit you not, he ran behind the cash machine and crouched down and was like hiding behind the cash machine like that, like, and I was looking at him like, okay, and I was like, oh my god, like, for somebody that's nearly 40 years old, who acts like that? Also, while we're on the topic, I seen him as well. Um, Again on a college break with college friends, we'd gone to Subway, and I step outside. It was the day I was going through. I was like really addicted to fake tan at this point, and I had the worst fake tan ever. It was horrible. And I stepped outside, and I heard this voice that not looked, that sounded very familiar. And obviously, when you've been talking to someone and you catch feelings, you're obviously going to remember what the voice sounds like. And I was like, that voice sounds so familiar, but it was coming from behind me. And I was like, I don't really want to turn around. It might be who I think it was. And then I just like looked around really, really quickly and it was him. And I was like, oh my God. And I just remember like freezing on the spot and being like, whoa, bitch, breathe. Like I was breathing and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, oh, let me fix this hair because this hair's been pissing me off like all day. Like, it just looks a mess. But anyway. And I seen him and he was talking to this woman. I'm assuming she was on drugs. Quite a bad assumption, but she just kind of looked like that person and she was asking him for money and he said, oh, I've only got a bit of change, and he gave her some change and she was like, oh, thank you. And he was like, no worries, no worries. And I just looked really quickly, but it was like a slow motion. Like it happened really quick, But I was looking like, whoa, in slow motion, and I seen his face, I seen him look at me, and he just looked really sad. And I thought, you know what, not today, and I just decided to go home. It was too much for me, I couldn't handle that. And I didn't really ever see him again after that. But then something really weird happened. I was on Grindr one day. If you're not familiar with Grindr, Grindr is a hookup app for gay and bisexual men. Um, and I seen a guy who didn't have this half of his face on his profile picture. From here downwards was his profile picture. And there was just something really, really, really familiar about this person. I couldn't figure out what it was. They just looked familiar. Like I didn't see their face. I didn't see anything that could, there was no pictures in the background or anything like that. There was nothing that could really give a clue away or give anything away. To the average person, I guess it would just look like an anonymous person. But to me, it just looked familiar, and something was telling me to click on it, so I clicked on it. This Grindr profile. And I'm going to disclaim something. I did some research into him. There was one point I was really hurt, and I just wanted to talk to him and just get answers. I admit, I was a bit obsessive, but like I said, now I've grown and matured. I've just let it die. But at the time, I really wanted to talk to him, get my case across, and just have somebody, primarily have him listen to what I'm saying instead of running away and avoiding it. Just owning it and being a man and saying, okay, I'll hear you out. So the guy that I'm messaging is his boyfriend, and this is how I found his boyfriend through searching his name on Facebook. I typed in the guy's name and I went on his friends list and found his boyfriend that way. And it was the picture on it was his boyfriend's profile picture that was on Grindr. That's how, that's why I was like, oh, I swear I've seen that picture before. Like I put two and two together. And I messaged him and we were talking and I found out a lot of information. That's how I found out that the kids were adopted and, there was a lot of trouble at home and so on and so forth. That's none of my business to repeat, so I'm not going to go and put somebody else's business on blast. I was talking to him, his boyfriend, on and off for a few months. I talked to him recently-ish, like a few weeks back, like 4 or 5 weeks back, but I haven't spoken to neither of them since. And to conclude, there's things I want to say from my perspective now as I've matured and I've learned and I've grown from this situation. This wig is doing my head in. I just want to say a few things that I've learned. Number one being, please don't go after anybody that has a partner because that's not the right thing to do. You've got to respect that other person's feelings, and that's something I'm genuinely sorry for. And if he's watching, I genuinely do apologise because at the time I was confused, I was young, I was new to the whole gay thing, I was in love, I caught feelings real quick, and I didn't intend to catch feelings, so I can sit here and say I genuinely apologise. And secondly, what I want to apologise for is being stupid, being ignorant, not taking time to think a decision through rationally and take accountability and accountorship for what I've done and my actions. And I'd also want to understand that every action has a consequence, whether good or bad. And I did try and help that guy out in a lot of situations. And then when I spoke to his boyfriend, it was kind of like him, the accuser, accusing his boyfriend of something, of all these things, and then his boyfriend telling me something completely different but can back it up with facts, and there's plenty of proof he went into extreme detail, although I didn't ask him to, about their home life and what that was like. Again, that's not my business to repeat, but I'm not going to, but this is my point, is I would rather have just blocked him and left it at that and just been honest. In fact, I would rather, if I could go all the way back, I would have been honest from the start. I wouldn't even have joined that site. But like I said, I was young, I was petulant, I was ignorant, I thought that I was above everyone else and I could do what I want, and I thought it was being cool, but in reality it was being stupid, and that could have landed me in a lot of trouble. And when I spoke to my worker who used to teach me about internet safety and things like that, she let it be known to me, you really need to be safe online, and you really need, she really got into my head, so I started putting everything that I learned from those lessons into my everyday life. So now on the internet, I don't add people on personal things like my Facebook. My Twitter's public because of what I do online as an online job. My Instagram's public because I'm trying to network on Instagram and grow. My YouTube obviously is public for you guys, but the only thing I really keep private is my Facebook. Everything else is public. Um, but again, I'm very smart and I'm very safe with what I do on the internet. And I also want to apologise to the guy's boyfriend as well again, because I genuinely mean it. And I'm not a fake ass bitch. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. I want to genuinely apologise and take accountability and ownership. And I hope one day he can forgive me. I'm not saying he has to. I'm just saying, this is a genuine apology. And just thank you to whoever watched to take the time out and listen to my story. And I don't feel ashamed telling this story anymore. I kind of feel like, instead of taking it as a negative, take the positives. And it was a mature experience for me. I grew very well. It was pleasant. I grew into a person that had morals, respect, decency, a way of looking at life, a standard of respect, understanding there's a line you don't cross. So I can say I sincerely apologise, because I do, and I've learnt a lot. And I'm really, 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 really thankful for that opportunity and that lesson. And I apologise to his boyfriend. I don't apologise to him because I just think he's a dick. And I wish them the best. I'm not going to sit here and be all petty. I just wish them the best. And it was so long ago now, and nothing else has really happened. And I'm moving on with my life. Well, I've moved on. They've moved on. And that's all there is. And that's the tea. So I just want to thank everybody so much for watching, because it meant a lot. It really did. And I also want to thank people for understanding that, we've all been young and in love and done once. And we've all done stuff we were younger that now, when we've grown and matured, we might not do. So I'm just like everybody else. I make a mistake. I'm not saying everybody goes after people with boyfriends. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that people make mistakes. That's my point. And I learned from my mistakes. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. I'm going to do a wig video next on how you apply a wig and how you can style a wig. This is not a lace front. This is just a simple normal wig that comes off a wig cap, and I'm gonna do talking about how I do my wig tape and how you can style it to make it look most natural, so on and so forth. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.